Welcome back into TF. It is time for your council recap. And we have Adam here. He's the Deputy City Administrator, and he is ready to rock and roll as Chad is on vacation. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Jeremy?
I'm doing wonderful, and we got a lot to get through today, so buckle up. Let's get going. We started with a public
Let's go.
hearing on the mayor's proposed 2027-2036 capital improvement plan. What do we got here?
Yeah, it's budget season, as you know, Jeremy. So we've got our capital improvement plan that typically deals with capital related items, equipment, buildings, larger type one-time items. We had a public hearing on that on Tuesday night, and then we are also kind of starting our operating budget as well. So more to come on budget, but that was kind of the first public hearing for the first item in the budget.
Fantastic. We move on to commission and committee reports, starting with Plan Commission on a resolution approving a sale of a parcel. What do we got?
Yeah, so the next three items that were on the agenda here, those all relate to the same thing. First one is the sale of a parcel. So this is a parcel the city owns up on Fish Hatchery Road. We acquired this as part of a past development for road expansion. We don't need it anymore. And now we have a developer coming forward to move their UPS store to this location. And the city will be selling that remnant parcel that we have no use for to that developer. So it's kind of a win-win for both of us, is that we're kind of getting rid of a parcel that we're maintaining and not using, but then also helping a redevelopment project happen on the property. I think there's a Quonset hut up there right now. They'll be coming down and then replaced with a commercial building that'll have the UPS store and then a couple other commercial tenants.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to, I believe, resolution number 4 then, approving a certified map request here for Brad North.
Yeah, this is in the town of Verona. So the city has what's called extraterritorial jurisdiction over land divisions in the town of Verona. And these two people actually in the town of Verona on Pheasant Lane are just shifting a lot line. And by state statute, we are required to review that. So it's just the moving of a lot line is a pretty simple item.
Gotcha. On number 5, an ordinance plan commission resolution here adopting and recommending the spring 2026 amendments to the comprehensive plan.
Yeah, this is at the southeast corner of Lacey and Fahey Glen. So this is for a residential development. I believe it would be a combination of townhouses and some multifamily. And this is just the comprehensive plan amendment. So this is kind of the first step in the process of kind of as that project continues to work its way through.
You'll hear more about it. On item 6, an ordinance approving a rezone request for Barry. This is a rezone. Well, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a rezone on Fish Hatchery Road.
It's from Bowman Plaza. So this is up on Fish Hatchery Road. This is for the Plan Development District, and this will give some flexibility for, I believe, signage for that redevelopment project that's ongoing.
Next item is 7, an ordinance approving a rezone request here for a property on County Highway MM.
So this is for the syncopation development, and we've got a lot of terms and names for developments. This is syncopation. This is the development on MM, and this would be a mix of single-family units, multifamily units, senior commercial, as well as private open space, and extending a multi-use path along County Highway MM. So this is part of that development process.
Moving on to Board of Public Works items. First one's a resolution accepting the 2025 Compliance Maintenance Annual Report for Wastewater Collection System of the City of Fitchburg. I read the whole thing. I went for it.
Yeah, you're doing great. It just kind of speaks for itself. It's just the annual report we have to do. People would see this for every single year, and this is just the report that we do to ensure that we're in compliance of that, and we are in compliance.
All right, next is a resolution accepting subdivision improvements in the Jamestown Quarry area.
Yeah, this one sounds bigger than what it is, but it's actually accepting improvements for some public paths that were done up in the area of Fitchrona and north of McKee. So those have been accepted and completed, and that is kind of corresponds with the development that's happening north of the target area and north of McKee Road.
Next, resolutions 3 and 4, I believe, were postponed.
They were postponed, so we will not talk about those.
All right, we move on to resolution 5 here on granting underground electric easement on Williamsburg Way.
Yeah, this is an overhead line that's now going to be buried underground. So as part of that, we have to have an easement in place in order to bury that the utilities.
All right, and final resolution here is authorizing acceptance of the 2026 sidewalk and related concrete bid.
So this is our contractor who'll be doing our sidewalk and concrete work in the city here for 2026. This is an annual item that we bid out, and ultimately we've selected a contractor to kind of complete that work. And it's a larger contract because they do handle all the replacements in the city.
All right, under Transportation and Transit Commission, we have one item here supporting sustainable municipal transportation funding by the state of Wisconsin.
Once again, kind of speaks for itself. This is a resolution that was adopted that is will be sent to the state just to encourage our elected officials at the state level to support transportation funding. There's really no direct policy impact upon the city, but it's encouraging our state individuals to provide more funding for transportation and related items.
We move on to Finance Committee. We have an item on authorizing the city staff to contract with the Capital Area Regional Planning Commission. What are we doing here?
Yeah, so with the city of Fitchburg and the Village of Oregon have been in discussions for the last few months, almost a year, I think now, about an area in the southeastern part of Fitchburg that both the city has interest in developing and along with the village as well. So we've had some significant conversations with the village regarding developing that area because it is in the city of Fitchburg, but we don't have water and utilities in that location. So we continue to talk with the village. The Capital Area Regional Planning Commission, CARPC, is helping us with those conversations with the goal of trying to have some framework in place by the first quarter of 2027 that would potentially further advance the conversations about having some type of development in that area. Both Fitchburg and Oregon are interested in seeing something happen there, and CARPC is kind of helping kind of bridge the gap between the two communities in those conversations and help facilitate those discussions. So this agreement would continue that. City of Fitchburg is going to pay CARPC for half of their cost, and then the Village of Oregon will pay the other half of that cost.
All right, on to new business and direct referrals. First resolution is approving a development agreement between the City of Fitchburg and SPF Holdings.
SPF Holdings, so this is the area, once again, kind of in that Jamestown Quarry area, just north of McKee, north of Target. So there's some buildings going up right now. I think it's the Chick-fil-A. I think it might be the McDonald's and bank. But this is a development agreement with that developer for additional development, commercial development that would be located north of that area. There are some stipulations in that agreement of kind of how the city would be providing incentives for that. And obviously with any TIF agreement, also looking at some of the extraordinary costs that are associated with the development that could be reimbursed by the TIF.
Next one is approving a development agreement between the City of Fitchburg and Ross Family Rentals.
Yeah, this goes back to the UPS store up on North Fitchburg Road. So this is tied back into that one. This is a development agreement, once again, looking at some of those extraordinary costs that are associated with the redevelopment of that project. And this agreement would allow the UPS store to relocate up to North Fitchburg Road, along with those two other retail businesses. So a redevelopment project that would occur up there.
All right. Next one is authorizing the acceptance of the Swan Creek and Wildwood Athletic Court renovations bid.
Yeah, so Swan Creek those tennis courts are in rough shape. This project would redo the Swan Creek tennis courts. We'd also redo the basketball courts up in Swan Creek that are adjacent to the tennis courts. And then also our Wildwood South athletic courts, we would have some renovations there as well. We're starting to see some cracking on those courts. When those courts get about 10, 15 years old, they start to show wear and tear. So we're going to do some preventative maintenance on the Wildwood South courts with the goal of hopefully that we can slow down the ultimate replacement of those in the future. So maintenance on Wildwood South and then full replacement and tear out up in Swan Creek.
Next one here is we have a contract, approving a contract here for update on our comprehensive plan and zoning code.
Yeah, this would be with Hustle and Levine. They're out of Illinois. They would be completing our comprehensive plan update, our zoning code rewrite, and also are completing an update or rewrite of our subdivision control ordinance. Those are pretty large projects, so the public will start seeing some more information on those. All said and done, I think both the zoning and comprehensive plan update, each of them would take about 18 months to complete. So this is going to be a long, ongoing process for the city for probably the next 2 to 3 years. So the public will be seeing a lot of information coming out of the comprehensive plan to get their feedback. and I'm sure Jeremy will be helping with that too. But
We'll
just
be talking a lot about it.
you'll be talking a lot. But so this is the kind of putting those agreements in place, and once we have these in place, the project's going to kick off with our planning department.
All right, so we have a resolution here granting underground electric easement, lot 20 in the Fitchburg Research Park area.
Yeah, this is for the police services facility, so just putting some easements in place underground. It's kind of a formality for that project that's currently under construction.
And then our final resolution is authorizing the acceptance of Wayland Road paved shoulders bid.
Yeah, this it kind of speaks for itself, but Wayland Road currently has some areas that have paved shoulders and other areas that do not. This would expand those paved shoulders for the length of Wayland, and I believe that project would go out west to Fitchburg.
And then finally, we had we had a discussion on the fire department operational staffing modifications. Chief Sarver making a presentation to council.
Yeah, Chief Sarver made a presentation. I would encourage people to watch the presentation. He did a great job kind of explaining why those changes are occurring. I would also encourage people to check out the website that hopefully will be posted below my finger that I just pointed. There you go. Perfect. You got both. We have a website where we have frequently asked questions about that. I would encourage people to check that out. There's some great information on there that kind of will hopefully answer some questions about the why this is occurring.
Yeah, it's at fitchburgwi.gov under the fire department's page. On their main page there, you can find those FAQs or through just right on the Notify Me section there. We've got it there for you. Next Committee of the Whole meeting is June 24th, and next Common Council meeting is July 28th. Great job, Adam. Appreciate your time.
Anytime, Jeremy. Good talking to you.